George Washington Carver was born in 1864 in Diamond, Missouri during the Civil War years. Carver was born into slavery on Moses Carver's plantation, and a week after his birth, he, his sister, and his mother were kidnapped from the Carver farm and brought to Arkansas. Later, they were sold in Kentucky. Carver was located by an agent of Moses Carter and returned to Missouri. Slavery ended in 1865 when the Confederates surrendered. Moses and his wife, Susan, decided to keep Carver and his brother James at their home to raise and educate them. Susan Carver taught George to read and write since no local school would accept black students at that time. Soon, he left the Carver home to travel to a school for black children 10 miles away. He came to be known as George Carver and attended a series of schools before receiving his diploma at Minneapolis High School in Minneapolis, Kansas. Later, he was accepted to Highland College in Highland, Kansas, but was denied admittance once college administrators found out he was African American. At home, he conducted biological experiments and compiled a geological collection. As Carver grew even more, he developed a love for the arts in addition to science. He attended Simpson College in Iowa. His obvious aptitude for drawing the natural world prompted a teacher to suggest that Carver enroll in the botany program at the Iowa State Agricultural College. Carver began his botanical studies the following year as the first black student at Iowa State. Carver excelled in his studies and upon earning a bachelor's degree in science was urged to earn his master's as well. His graduate studies included intensive work in plant pathology at the Iowa Experiment Station. In these years, Carver established his reputation as a brilliant botanist and began the work that he would soon pursue the remainder of his career. After graduating from Iowa State, Carver embarked on a career of teaching and research. Booker T. Washington, the founder of the historically black Tuskegee Institute, hired Carver to run the school's agricultural department in 1896. Washington lured the promising young botanist to the institute with a hefty salary and the promise of 2 rooms on campus. Carver's special status stemmed from his accomplishments and reputation, as well as his degree from a prominent institution not normally open to black students. The agricultural department at Tuskegee Institute, now known as Tuskegee University, achieved national recognition under Carver's leadership with a curriculum and faculty that he helped to shape. In addition to a formal education in a traditional classroom setting, Carver pioneered a mobile classroom to bring his lessons to farmers. The classroom was known as a Jessup wagon, after Tuskegee donor Morris Ketchum Jessup. Carver went on to become a prominent scientific expert and one of the most famous African Americans of all time. Carver achieved international fame in political and professional circles. President Theodore Roosevelt admired his work and sought his advice on agricultural matters in the United States. Carver's scientific expertise was also recognized abroad. In 1916, he was made a member of the British Royal Society of Arts, an honor that was rarely given to an American. Carver also advised Indian leader Mahatma Gandhi on matters of agriculture and nutrition. Carver used his fame to promote scientific causes for the remainder of his life. He wrote a syndicated newspaper column and toured the nation, speaking about the importance of agricultural innovation and the achievements at Tuskegee. Carver's work at the helm of the Tuskegee Institute's agricultural department included groundbreaking research on plant biology, much of which focused on the development of new uses for crops, including peanuts, sweet potatoes, and soybeans. Carver's inventions include milk, plastics, paints, dyes, cosmetics, medicinal oils, soaps, inks, and wood stains from peanuts, and molasses, postage stamp glue, flour, vinegar, and synthetic rubber from sweet potatoes. At the time, cotton production was on the decline in the South, and overproduction of a single crop had left many fields exhausted and barren. Carver suggested planting peanuts and soybeans, both of which could restore nitrogen in the soil along with sweet potatoes. While these crops grew well in southern climates, there was little demand. Carver's inventions and research solved this problem and helped struggling sharecroppers in the South, many of them former slaves now faced with necessary cultivation. He even became known as the Peanut Man after delivering a speech before the Peanut Growers Association in 1920, attesting to the wide potential of peanuts. The following year, Carver testified before Congress in support of a tariff on imported peanuts, which Congress passed in 1922. Carver also spoke about the possibilities of racial harmony in the United States. From 1923 to 1933, Carver toured white Southern colleges for the Commission on Interracial Cooperation. Carver died after falling down the stairs at his home on January 5, 1943, at the age of 78. He was buried next to Booker T. Washington on the Tuskegee grounds. Carver's epitaph reads, "He could have added fortune to fame, but caring for neither, he found happiness and honor in being helpful to the world." After Carver's humble beginnings, he was able to break through the social barriers at the time to become one of the most prominent scientists of all time.